The Lok Sabha passed the Viksit Bharat Guarantee for Rozgar and Ajeevika Mission Gramin, or we are supposed to call it VBG-RAM-G, which seeks to replace the UPA-era MGNREGA, which is the Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme. It was cleared by a voice vote amidst opposition protests. We will discuss this in detail.
They are cooking up sentences to make it sound like, what does it mean? Consistent with Viksit Bharat 2047. That is the pro of the scheme. So can you decode that for us? How is it consistent with Viksit Bharat 2047, which the present MGNREGA is not?
The states will have to bear a bigger burden, 60-40, so 60 from the center, 40% from the states. And each state will get a notional allocation based on these objective criteria, but they are not committing to giving this notional allocation in such a way that it would meet 60% of the cost for 125 days.
So it's 60% of what we don't know.
Yeah. No. They are just saying notional allocation to each state. If the state spends more than the notional allocation, then 100% is the state's.
Yeah, but that 60% of this notional allocation will also be determined by the center, right?
No, they are not even saying 60% of, they are saying a notional allocation will be made to the states. There's the switch on, switch off clause. They are saying we will notify this act wherever we want. There is no guarantee that it will be notified across the country.
So you mean they can do it selectively in states?
Yes. This is why people are saying this is not a guarantee
that is bizarre.
At all.
So that means
not
they can only,
that.
like they're doing, they can have separate rules for BJP ruled states and separate rules for non-BJP ruled states.
Exactly. Thank you.
A few years ago, we had done a story of these ghost villages in Uttarakhand where they are just empty homes. There's not a single person living there because they have nothing to feed themselves with, no jobs, nothing. And MGNREGA provides all that. So in the context of actually, it does a lot of stuff, MGNREGA, other than just provide that. So it is, the impact of this is huge on the economy, on urban migration, on many things. So even if you are not a MGNREGA beneficiary, which you're probably not if you're a subscriber, you have enough money to subscribe, it impacts everybody's life in a very profound way.
It is a fundamentally cruel thing to do because in this greater scheme of things, the fact that there is dependence on such a scheme from workers who are incredibly desperate has completely fallen by the wayside. And I think it is the poor and the weak and the marginalized who are not only being merely neglected, but it's also that they're being actively targeted. And you're actively choosing in a country that has more poor people than anywhere in the world by far to upturn a scheme that gives them something.
The young Ambani boy saying, Mr. Messi, you are the GOAT. Thank you for coming. You came and I was like, what the fuck? And
I think he was as drugged as the Tigers.
Messi must be thinking, where the fuck am I? God.
There were also private meet and greet sessions. And those were for an hour, let's say 100 people each, 74 lakhs.
Oh,
74 lakhs per person. Including GST and all that. So,
and this is like a one-on-one with Messi, is it?
Yeah.
Like
this is not a one-on-one with Messi. This is basically, you get a one-on-one photo with Messi.
Basically, you line up, you shake hands, you get a photo and you carry on.
You breathe the same air for like a second.
Yeah. And for an additional 8,000 rupees, the 4,000 rupee tickets, you could also get lathi charged. So that you just...
Welcome to Chhota Hafta. Now, Chhota Hafta is but a small, chhota version of a complete weekly podcast, Newslaundry Hafta. The Newslaundry Hafta is where you get the week's news, what made the headlines, what didn't make the headlines, but the full version is available to subscribers only. And I don't mean YouTube subscribers, although YouTube subscribers are also very welcome, we're very grateful to you, but also to Newslaundry subscribers, the paying subscribers who pay to keep news free. So you can also become a paying subscriber by clicking the subscription link. Now what do you get if you're a paying subscriber? You get access to all our paywall content, all interviews, podcasts, and importantly, you get access to a full unedited Hafta, where you not only get to hear the week's news, but you get to hear the Newslaundry editors' positions on matters. You get to see their biases, what are their prejudices. It's an exercise in transparency while also informing you, and we have a few quips and jokes and agreements and disagreements thrown in. So listen to the full Hafta, subscribe to Newslaundry, and pay to keep news free. Here we go.
अंग्रेज अपना लगान और न्यूज़ लॉन्ड्री अपना हफ्ता कभी नहीं छोड़ते. Welcome to another episode of NL Hafta. It is 11:22 in the morning. It is Friday, the 19th of December. And by the time you hear this, it may be Christmas, maybe before Christmas. So Merry Christmas, Happy Matru Pitru Divas, and all the other divases that have been.
Winter solstice. That's
Winter
the safest way.
solstice.
Sabse purana naam.
So, and to mark this holiday season, as we do every year, we have a special offer, a discount for Newslaundry subscriptions. As you know, we do not take money from any Sarkari ads or government ads. All our journalism is powered by you. So here's the QR code and there's a link in the show notes. Do power our journalism. If you have been following Newslaundry and News Minute for the last year and a half, you will have seen some of the high impact story we've done, which no one would have done because they actually point out certain rather horrible and embarrassing indiscretions and sometimes bordering on criminality of how your funds are used. And no one would know those because many of those news organizations actually run on the funds of those same corporations. So do support journalism, pay to keep news free. Joining me in the studio today, Shardool Katyayan,
Hello.
who's looking like a Hollywood character from Mad Max with this salt and pepper beard and no moustache.
Oh, I don't know. But all characters in Mad Max are fine. I'm happy.
All right. Joining us online, our very own doer of important things, Jayashree.
Hello. No Mad Max comparison for me.
No. You
Better not. Like.
And Reetika Khera, who is our special guest, expert extraordinaire, columnist, professor. Hi, Reetika. What, in your view, I mean, maybe speculation, is the reason the government is doing it? Because, I mean, they want to be fiscally prudent and show that their budgets are more balanced? Or because there is a political upside to this. I mean, even if we were just to remove the duty and responsibility of the state, the humanitarian aspect, the practical aspect, if you just look at it as a political scheme, there is a benefit to it because so many people benefited because that is what is making them win so many elections, like Ladli Yojana, this Yojana, that Yojana. So what, in your view, is the reason for them to go down this road?
But for the last year, almost 13 crore people were classified as active workers. And in fact, there are 26 crore registered workers on the NREGA portal. Some of these 13 crores who are not active workers, maybe they didn't need work, but many of them may have needed work but didn't get work because of administrative hurdles, lack of budget, etc. So it's a really huge chunk of the Indian population. I don't know. I mean, of course, the PDS is covering 80 crore people. But after that, this is one of the biggest schemes that can help poor people tide over bad times. It's not something that's supposed to help them live their lives because for 100 days in a year, if a family gets at 300 rupees a day, it's not a whole lot of money.
Sure.
It's supposed to be a stopgap arrangement.
Subsistence, basically, just so you don't starve to death, basically, just subsistence.
That's right. And if you're not able to get anything else, you have a dignified way of earning a living. You don't need to migrate if you are able to get work in your own village.
Yeah, for me, I think my understanding of it is that MGNREGA is not just a welfare scheme, right? It's a guarantee that places the worker at the center of a policy and not the state. It essentially says you have the legal right to demand work. If you don't get it, here is how we will help you. And it is supposed to be enforceable across rural India. And now I feel the government has picked rural areas. It will no longer be the primary funder. It has the discretion to punish opposition-led states if it likes and as it's done in the past. If a state can't afford it, it would likely put a limit. It would likely stop registrations. And then what happens to the guarantee? Because then this is no longer a demand-driven employment program. It becomes a central government scheme. And I think Aruna Roy had written a piece about it where she says it becomes a central government scheme which has no guarantees at all. And I think for me, essentially the people who enroll under MGNREGA are those who have very little choice in their life decisions. And I think this is that one small bit of choice that they had. Workers in general have little choice. Poorer workers have far less than that. And that itself is being taken away.
I think a lot of people say, that no assets have been created, etc. What is true is that there aren't enough studies of the asset creation under NREGA. We still call it NREGA. Some people call it MNREGA. But the few studies that do exist are actually far more positive than the popular perception. So there have been fish ponds, which are quite remunerative, mango orchards. Wells have been made in Jharkhand that have allowed small and marginal farmers to grow an extra crop like some vegetable patch, etc., because there's a little bit of water now available. And then, of course, public infrastructure as well. And, again, this Kachi road is seen as a disaster. Roads that get washed away, that's the kind of thing people say. But in fact, in a lot of cases, the Kachi Sadak is made through NREGA, but then that lays the groundwork for a Pakki Sadak through some other scheme.
Anirudh, Messi tour, do you know, because I actually wanted to dedicate some resources to this on reporting, but my editors were not convinced because my personal bias on football. I'm a football lover, and even at my old age, I play regularly. That I wanted to get to the bottom of who financed this trip in each state, who organized it. While I understand the Kolkata was a private event, I'm sure the police has to be paid for providing security, the logistics.
The whole thing was organized by an individual, Satadu Datta. This was the person who was arrested in West Bengal on the first day. And that became a big news and all that. So what Mr. Datta, so what he does is he's a sports promoter. So he goes and talks to these brands, he talks to these athletes, tries and connects them. So these athletes demand money for their presence. So when you're talking to brand Messi, which is basically what you're talking to. You're talking to brand Messi, he will, let's say, come and spend some time here. So in this, it would have been stand in the stadium for an hour, wave to the crowds, kick a couple of footballs to the kids. Then there's a 1 hour private meet and greet session, which the tickets are much, much more expensive. So, for instance, the starting prices for the tickets in the Salt Lake Stadium in Calcutta were 4,300 rupees. That is just to come and sit in Salt Lake and see Messi from a distance wave at you.
I think the classiest moment is a toss-up between what's Devendra Fadnavis' wife's name? Amrita Fadnavis. Amrita Fadnavis' selfie and that TMC leader shoving everybody to get the picture clicked with Messi. I think Messi will go back thinking, dude, I went to the nation that has the Vishwaguru credentials and the class, and they will be the next footballing nation.
Facilitate this. Obviously, you need to pay Messi. I think the going rate is around 30 crores a day.
Wow.
Nice.
For the man.
Okay.
So that would be around 90 for 3 days.
My God.
And
Nice.
So Suarez and Rodrigo would come for much cheaper.
Sure.
And the fact that we barely mention them is just like plain, that it's not a sporting event per se, right? Luis Suarez is one of the greatest strikers of our times.
Yeah.
He is not a background prop, but he was a background prop in this tour. So it's got nothing to do with sport. It's got everything to do with brand Messi. So it is a very privately organized, privately funded, corporate funded mission.
Related to sports, I'd seen one headline yesterday, which was that India is the world's worst dope offender. And as somebody, again, who doesn't follow the subject, like, why is that? Because I saw this was the World Anti-Doping Agency report, which is a very widely regarded report, and India is the worst. So why is that?
So what happens in sports in India is you mostly play to make sure you get a government job.
Right.
Like you get selected into a state team, you get selected into a district team, you get selected state team, you get national team.
Yeah.
So a lot of people who do this, who only do this for the job, would go with this, would dope. Because it's a short-term hit, you get what you want and you move on with life.
Got it.
And so if you go to any athletics meet, there will be syringes lying around stadiums. There are hilarious scenes where...
बस मुफ्त में इतना ही मिलेगा. For the full uncut podcast, subscribe to Newslaundry and pay to keep news free. The best way to listen to The Hafta and indeed all our podcasts is through the Newslaundry app. You can download the app by clicking on the links given in the show notes. So do download our app and get the best podcast experience. And also pay for news and support a new news media ecosystem that Newslaundry is trying to encourage, where we are accountable to you because we run on contributions that you make. We don't take government ads, we don't take corporations ads. So that news serves the public. Because when the public pays, the public is served. Subscribe to Newslaundry, click on the link in the show notes below and proudly say, I pay to keep news free.